What's up, my friends? Okay, today we are going to draw Rick Sanchez.
Morty.
Rick and Morty. This is the Rick of Rick and Morty. So, let's draw him. So we're gonna start off with the head. That'll probably be where we start most of the time. So let's draw it nice and big. He's got a pill-shaped head. So it's not quite an oval. Think of like a Tylenol or something. Pill shape. Okay. That's somewhat of a pill shape. Now it can be, doesn't have to be exact, but you can just rough it in. Now I'm drawing very rough. You can see there's lots of sketch lines there, but that's okay. His eyes are circles, and in the style of Rick and Morty, they don't actually have to be perfect circles. They're actually mostly imperfect, but you can just draw it kind of two circles that pretty much take up the whole head space. I don't think they quite overlap over the edge of the face, so you can just keep them like that. And as for the pupils, it's just a simple black dot. But in Rick and Morty, it's like intentionally left kind of a messy dot. So I almost make like a scribble. And everybody's kind of sort of cross-eyed, and it's a strange design, but it's cool. I like it. Okay, ears. The ears are very low on the head. They're just a half circle. It's kind of like that. You could do this in any order that you want. I usually start with the eyes, or the head shape and then the eyes, and then just kind of whatever you feel like. So the mouth, actually let's go nose first. Right in between the eyes, the nose shape is very important to get for the style of this character to look right. It's not pointy, it's not a circle, it's not up. It's like a long U shape. At least from front on, in this front on position. It's kind of this droopy long nose. And there's a bunch of expressions you could give to Rick, but let's give him his just kind of standard frown. Just a simple curved line downward, and then at the sides he's got these little, kind of the edge of his mouth, wrinkles, because he's an old man. You gotta remember that. Now there's a bit more detail to put on the eyes. Right under his eyes he has these bags, so just an extra line underneath. And for his brow, singular brow, not brows, it's always drawn as one eyebrow. He is not plucking in between there. He's just got one solid brow. So I'm just gonna clean up this head shape a little bit. But okay, that's basically the face of Rick. So the only other main detail we are missing is crazy hair. So in order to do this, we know he has spiky hair, but there is a bit of a method to the spikes. So you don't have to draw this, but try to imagine like an afro that starts kind of at the edge of his chin, and then goes bigger and then back around. This could kind of be like a guide for the spikes, because the spikes they start off small and then they get bigger as you go. So if you were to make little points on the edge of this fro that you created, you can just start making little straightish lines, and then don't connect them all the way to the head, but just bring them close as you're returning. And you can add, I think there aren't too many, but like I have a point here, but I think it will fit better if I do it like this. But as you can see, I'm just using the guide of this line to kind of give me an idea as to where to put the spikes. You don't have to follow it exactly, of course. It's not an exact science. But there you go. That is Rick's head. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So say you wanted to draw his whole body. I will quickly do that over here. So let me draw a head quickly again. Don't mind me. Okay, so his body is actually quite long. So sometimes you're trying to draw it and it looks a bit too long or a bit too short. A good way to always get the proportion right of this guy, just kind of take the measurement of his head and add that roughly again 4 times. So he's 4 heads tall from the tip of his forehead, or kind of around the top of his head. Not necessarily where the spike ends, but around here to the bottom of his chin. And then this portion will take you to kind of like his mid section. And then this will be kind of his knee-ish. And then this will be the bottom of his feet. So the way to draw the Rick and Morty bodies, it's basically just a straight parallel body. There isn't much shape to it or curves. So I would just kind of give him a little more space from his head. Width. It could even be the same as his head. I'd give it a little bit more space. And then just draw 2 straight lines all the way down. If you're drawing him in this position, of course, but this is how I would go about it. And then, right kind of where that mid section line is, that's about where his belt would go. So I just leave it, and then there's a little belt there. And then there's a slight dip where his legs connect. And then you just kind of draw a straight line, and then straight lines down again. There are his legs. And then you could just end those off about here. His pants. And these little kind of triangular feet. Very simple design for this whole show. But there is a trick to it, so it's not always super easy, but it's simple at least. Okay, so now he has a big lab coat on all the time because he's a mad scientist, remember. So what I would do, if you haven't already drawn a neck, draw a little neck, just 2 lines coming down and then a shirt line. And then what we could do, you could add little shoulders right where the shirt line meets the neck. Just kind of draw a slightly down angled line. Just maybe to where his ear ends up. So he's not too broad shouldered. And then, so for this, let's just draw his arms straight out. They will come to just below his kind of like groin area. And the same thing over here. use all these guidelines, and you don't have to draw them, but just think of them. Like you want them both to reach the same level because his arms are the same length. And then around here, on both sides, just draw a parallel line to that. Boom. So that would mean his sleeves would end around there. And he has a little cuff. So just a smaller kind of half square coming out, half rectangle coming out of that sleeve. And then his hands. So the hands in this show are very simple, but how could we draw these? It's kind of triangles. They have all 5 fingers, but the thumb and the pinky just kind of go straight into the wrist. So play around with the hands. I don't know if this looks quite right. That might be a little big. Hands are always tricky. But of course, studying real hands will help a lot on how to draw them. There'll be a tutorial about that coming up one day soon. So this is a leisure outfit Rick, but we want to add his big lab coat. So we already have the sleeves for it drawn. So all you need to do is start a line from where the neck meets the shoulder, and you want to draw it straight down, and then when you start getting to the belt, you'll curve it out just like so. There you go. You don't have to get it perfect in one line, but just kind of feel it out. And then the same thing over here. Okay, and then from this point where the arms, the bottom of the arms start, the armpit area, draw a line that just curves right into that line, into the end of that coat line. Right? There's his coat, and then you could connect it at the back with a arched line to make it straight behind his legs. And the only other thing is the collar of his blazer, or of his coat, which is just 2 triangular shapes that go into this line. Equal on both sides. There you go. That is Rick. It looks like him, right? I'd say so. So yeah, this show is really fun, and this character design is really fun and interesting to draw, and it can be a great time. So what I'm gonna do is continue to draw Rick throughout this page, and let's see what other crazy positions we could put him in and see if it works using those same principles. Let's go.
Yeah, of course he likes it. Look at him. If I make pants, they'll be better than your pants at home. And that's the way the news goes. Hit the sack, Jack. Uh-oh, somersault, jump. This world still got a chance. Yeah! Don't pay for cool stuff with your soul. Pay for it with money. You know, like how every other store in the world works. We're located at 1st and Main in Old Town. Come on down. Wubble up it up! I'm Pickle Rick!
Et voila, There you go. A bunch of Ricks. I even threw in a Pickle Rick bonus for you guys.
I'm a pickle!
So I hope you enjoyed. Hope it goes well for you guys. Have fun drawing Rick. And stay tuned for Morty coming up next. And if you like this, feel free to share it. Like, comment, say who you'd like to draw next. And subscribe for more drawing tutorials every week. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.
Wubble-up-a-dub-dub! Morty. That's my catchphrase, remember? Remember how I cemented that catchphrase? Alright, seriously though.